have Coach Kelsey start us off with an opening statement. Coach?
Fortunate to come out with a win. Winning on the road in conference is always hard. I got a ton of respect for Forbesy. We've been in the business together for a long, long time. They're dealing with, serious injury problems right now, and they're competing, and gave us all we could handle tonight. Feel good about how the game ended the last 4 minutes in terms of our defensive and rebounding. I give Wake a lot of credit for their tenacity on the glass in the second half. It hurt us there in that area, but our guys had the wherewithal to flip the switch and get stops and rebounds down the stretch. I felt like it was a phenomenal team win. We had 6 guys in double figures, and everybody's contribution, whether it's subbing a guy in late for a defensive sub, like Khani did, went in and got rebounds, got a big block, got a stop. I thought Kobe Rogers coming off the bench was really, really good for us. I'm not a big plus-minus guy, but he was plus 15 in limited minutes, 3 offensive rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. That's just an example of something that we take great pride in. It's just the individual contributions, whether you're a big minutes guy, a small minutes guy, high volume shooter, low volume shooter, it's everybody doing their job, and I was proud of the collective team effort tonight.
Any questions for Khani first?
Yeah, Coach was talking to us, I guess, in the past week or so that you all kind of had a conversation about, what he wanted to see from you, coming off your absence, wanting to kind of you to, I guess, I don't know, pick your spots a bit more. If I'm getting that right, Pat, I'm not sure.
I don't know what you mean about picking your spots.
I mean, just kind of like what shots you wanted to see from him, and just kind of how you wanted him to, enter his role. Just having missed some of those games, it seems like your shot selection has kind of like gotten great. Like you're really good at like slashing and being able to get to the rim. Could you just speak to how that impacts the offense and maybe adds a different layer to it as well?
I mean, it takes some shine off of the guards that the defense has to focus on a lot. So it takes some pressure off them, and it's just me helping Ben there. Even when I don't get the ball, when they take those shots, I'm already in position sometimes to help get the boards. So it just helps all around,
Yeah, and then kind of going off that, I feel like you got some feeds today from some of your fellow bigs. Could you speak to how they've grown as passers since you guys started working this preseason, and now we're here into February?
I feel like they've always been good passers. It's just me being more active and being in those spots where they can see me, and them just making the right play.
Yeah. What were like the last few minutes for you all? Like I'm obviously just trying to get to the line, but just needing to have the emphasis on defense and getting stops, and being able to give you guys just enough space to get out of here with the win.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, just take us through like the last few minutes from your perspective. It's got seemed to get out really scrappy, just in terms of trying to get as many stops as possible. Guys trying to get get to the foul line.
We just playing desperate. We needed to do the win, so we got stops, and we just had to finish it with the boards, and the rest was going to play out.
And then what to you was one of the big reasons why you guys were able to get off to such a hot start today?
You said?
Yeah, just anything that was kind of a secret to you guys, getting off to a hot start today.
Ain't no secret. You just playing hard. Shots gonna fall. Sometimes they don't fall early, but it was falling, so we just rode the hot seat.
Thank you, Khani. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I guess for you, start off by asking just your thoughts on coming out to a place you coached for so long, and seeing you have the tie-dye shirts to your right, and then you have the Demon Deacon on the motorcycle to your left. Just take us through that scene for you, and just kind of what was the strip like for you getting back here?
There's been a lot of nostalgia. Unfortunately, do we have Johnny's score yet?
No, I can find out.
Can you? I haven't gotten a score yet. My son had a big game today, and so they couldn't come. And we were really looking forward to this trip because both my daughters were born here. Caroline, their birthday was yesterday. She was born at Wake Forest Baptist, as was Ruthie. And it just didn't work out because of Johnny's game and stuff. So, there's a lot of personal feelings here. I have a lot of relationships with people here. Saw a bunch of familiar faces, catching up with people. It was a great time of my life. Obviously, Coach Prosser, losing him, 18 years ago was a really, really tough time, and but we're proud of what we did when we were here. And he left a heck of a legacy, as you guys know.
Were you able to talk to your former players who were out there?
Yeah. Yeah, so I saw Chase McFarland was here, Ish Smith, Al-Farouq Aminu. It was so awesome to catch up with those guys. I mean, that's one of the really cool things about coaching and teaching is when you see your students, you see your players later down the line, you see the type of people they become, you meet their children. I got to hold Ish Smith's little son. I mean, that was really, really special. But then, we're not too terribly far from, Winthrop. So I had Anders Broman was here. So it was just good to connect. That's one of the really special things about coaching is the relationships that you have with the guys for the rest of their lives.
Pat, you correct me if I'm wrong. You invented the tie-dye nation, correct?
I'm not going to take credit.
You
for
and
that.
Coach Battle.
It was a team effort. It was a collective effort.
How do you separate the emotional part of coming back with obviously trying to win a game?
Yeah, I got it all out of my system last night when I came in for our shoot around when we landed, just to walk into the Joel again, walk through the back hallway where I went through a million times and recruiting visits, setting stuff up, doing all this, and then walking out. And then they've done a great job with it. They branded it like crazy, and it was a little bit more sterile was the word back in the day because I think it was owned by the city. Now it's owned by Wake, so they've really done a good job of upkeep and renovating. And then obviously to look up in the rafters and see Coach Prosser's banner, that was a really special moment. After that, we got on the bus, went back to the hotel, and it was just all business.
I'm 33-28.
Freaking go! It's awesome. It's a big win.
Yeah, I did want to ask you about Michael. Since he's been back, he's had some up and down shooting games. Today he had 8 assists. I'm curious, he missed so much time at a point, especially for a freshman, kind of building up to the college game and conference play. How have you sort of worked to maybe kind of bring him back along and bringing him into the fold when everybody else has played all these games together?
He's fine. He's back in the mix again. He's doing what point guards do, and they give the ball back to you 2 hours after the game starts, safe and sound with a win. That's what point guards do. We all know he can really, really score. We all know he can really, really fill it up. The 8 assists, the run your team, be the quarterback on the floor. He's doing a great job.
Is there anything you're seeing in terms of trying to get him, I don't know if full speed is the right term, but again, he missed so much time. It's asking a lot for a guy to jump right in at the heat of conference play.
Here's the ball. Go run my team. That's what I tell him. That's what great point guards do. They make people around him better, and that's what he does. Yeah, it was a very physical game. I give Wake a lot of credit. I thought they played really hard, very physical. We're a very good rebounding team. And I think overall, it was even on the boards, 32-32. So especially in the second half. They got 39% of their misses back in the second half. That's a really good number for them. That's a really bad number for us. But I do feel like we flipped the switch late. I think they went 0 for 11, I think, down the stretch, I believe. And not only making a miss, but those are desperate rebounds that they got to have, to try to win the game. And we finished the game with stops and rebounds, which is what you have to do to win on the road.
You feel like that was their biggest edge, that kind of let them pull close and be able to tie it late?
Yeah, and I think the other thing was they were putting a lot of foul pressure on us, and we know that's been something that we've dealt with. And I think we've been much better with that. But they got strong attacking guards, and they were just putting their head down and ramming the ball at us. And, they were getting too many easy shots at the free throw line. So we got to eliminate that fouling. Made some tough shots. We had some defensive errors and breakdowns. It was kind of like a mix of all of it. But again, what I'm most proud of is, we caught ourselves, got stops and rebounds when we had to. We weren't the greatest that we've been all year long defensively and on the backboard, but we were when it mattered.
Thoughts on that three from Kaysen and just that whole possession?
Time is better to be lucky than good, man. Like that was the basketball gods even stuff out. Like it always you're going to kick one in at the buzzer, you're going to get beat at the buzzer, you're going to make. And I remember early on this year it happened to us a couple games where it was like, how in the crap did that go in? It all evens out.
All right, thanks, everybody.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Sorry.
Juke Harris is obviously a lot higher on the scouting report than he would have been last year. What growth have you seen from him?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Their guy, Juke Harris, is
Yeah.
obviously a lot higher on the scouting report. What growth have you seen from
Yeah, gosh.
last
I mean,
year
I think he has the biggest one-season point differential from his freshman to sophomore year in the entire ACC. I mean, obviously, he was Hunter Salas was here last year. He was a great player, and he was kind of the premier go-to scorer. And he was more of a not a complimentary piece, but that wasn't his role. And you could just tell that his confidence, he's using with confidence. And he's a hard cover because he can shoot it, and he really, really attacks, puts foul pressure, and he's good on the rim. So Forbes, doing a good job of putting him in great positions to utilize his gifts.
All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Part of the problem being around the